Before I start, I need to switch on a light so that you can have a better view of me. Yeah. Uh, or maybe not. I don't have time at the moment because I will be rushing through. Okay, I'll start today. I just want to let you all know that I will be presenting on the two parts, which is what is a proposal and what is involved in a proposal defense. I hope all of you can follow me. Dong and Jing, are you okay, Shu? Yes, you can follow. If you can't follow me, please put up your hand so that I can see. Okay. Okay, we'll start with proposal defense. What is I am Dr. Sim before that, and I am from the Academy of Arts and Creative Technology, which you all will be registered to, yeah, to do your postgraduate degree. Is the slide very small? Should I extend it? Yes, no? Can you see it? Is it better this way?
Yeah, it's better this way, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay, so I will continue from now. Okay. What is a proposal defense? Okay, a proposal defense is perhaps the most important session. Very important. Proposal defense is very important. Okay, this is what you will work with when you see your supervisor for the first time. Okay, when you after this RMC, you will get you have to do your proposal defense. Okay, before you do your proposal defense, you are supposed to meet up with your supervisor. After this, I will explain to you what are the what are the steps you need to take. Okay, this is only solely on proposal. What is there? Okay, proposal defense is a session where we all will arrange for you to introduce your postgraduate research. It has to have at least an introduction paragraph, your methodology, your literature review, and all that, yeah, that you have been told earlier on, and you will be assessed. You will be assessed on the faculty level by the lecturers and the experts in your field. Okay? Each postgraduate student will be required to present their proposal defense. You have to present it. Means you cannot just send a PowerPoint form slides and ask us to read it. There's no such thing. So if any of you have problems with the language, please back up. Please learn. Learn how to present in English. English is a must. If you cannot present, then you have problems. Okay, you will definitely have problems. So you will be assessed on your presentation and your proposal defense. Okay, what will be assessed? A level, focus, and validity, meaning somebody has not done your research or whether or not people have done it this way, that way, and whatever. You will be asked questions during your proposal defense. So if you cannot speak English, you definitely have a problem. At this point, I must tell you, okay, you must present it in your own voice and then only you can pass your RMC. Understand? Anybody has any problems here? You are given 15 to 25 minutes to present in English your proposal, and we will give marks. Okay, we will give marks. Okay, this is an example of what it will be. You have to present it under a postgraduate colloquium. Okay, this one is just an example. It's not the real thing. Okay, you will be given instructions like this. The presentation is compulsory for every student. If you didn't go through this proposal defense, but you attended RMC, it's definitely not counted. Okay, students are given 10 to 15 minutes or 25 minutes. You have to prepare a slide, PowerPoint Windows program PowerPoint slide, and you must use the template that has been given to you, okay, emailed to you by Dr. Junior, and you have to email the slides to ASTiF. This is the email, okay, before you do your presentation. So please be present half an hour earlier before your proposal defense so that you can be let into the session. Okay? Anybody got any questions, please put up your hands, or I will check with the chat every now and then. Okay. Okay, this is an example of the schedule. Okay, schedule for your proposal defense under what you call, again, I underline postgraduate colloquium. Okay, because every time when I ask some of the China students, especially those overseas, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done? They don't seem to know. And I again want to stress to you that the the session in which you present your proposal is called postgraduate colloquium. Okay, can you see your name will be here? And the lecturers who assess you will be here. These are just the examples, and you'll be given a WebEx where you have to come in like now. Please understand this. This is after the RMC, but you have to do something else after RMC. Okay. Now we are just talking about the the proposal you're going to do. So in the proposal, this is part of the items in which we will be assessing you, such as we will see whether you meet your methodology that you use for your postgraduate research. Okay, whether it's a master's thesis or a PhD thesis, your methodology is sufficient or not. Okay, either that or what other things, like you have problems with terminology or not when you are presenting. There's so much more, but I can't put the whole form here. You will know of it later. You can ask for a copy to see, okay, from your postgraduate supervisor. Okay, how to prepare for your proposal defense. What's the first thing? Discussion with your supervisor. This is very important. If you haven't met your supervisor, such as me, let's say I am your supervisor, and you haven't met with me to discuss how and what you're going to do for your research, for your master's or your for your master's or PhD, then you won't be able to present. Okay, because I, the supervisor, will write inside the form that you haven't actually met me. Okay, the second part of this session will be preparation of proposal. What is involved in the proposal? Later on, you can get these slides from Dr. Junior, okay, or a link to these slides. So you just listen now. Okay, preparation of slides. The slides is your reference to the PowerPoint Word slides. Okay, if you don't understand what it is, please ask your supervisor or your postgraduate supervisor what is slides. What are slides? And presentation practice. Okay, that means you need to practice your presentation. Just because your English is not good does not mean you cannot have a good presentation. You can always practice again and again so that you can improve on your language as well as your presentation. Okay, discussion with supervisor is mandatory. Means you must do that so that you can receive guidance, correction, advice, and cultural knowledge. Those of you who are from overseas, from China, from Brunei, or Indonesia, okay, you might make mistakes that are offensive to the culture. So it's best you go see them. You go see your supervisor. Find out who your supervisor is and see your supervisor. Don't go and approach other people, okay? Other people who are not your supervisor. We have not been assigned to you, so we cannot help you. Understand? Preparation of proposal. Okay, preparation of proposal comes after your discussion. After you've discussed, your supervisor will lead you through what you need to have in your proposal. And then you all will agree on what points you need to show during your proposal defense. Okay, these are some of the items that you need to have in your proposal. One is the title of your research or your postgraduate thesis. Okay, of course, the specific area. And I think some of you will get a very detailed explanation of it later. Subject of study, main aim of the research, okay, research problems, okay, meaning the reason for your research questions, research objectives, literature review, methodology, and your scope. All these 10 you must have in great detail for your proposal before you can present. And you can use this guideline for your slides as well. Okay, what is the title? Okay, how do you come to a title? The title of an academic thesis is most important. It must reflect what you are doing. It cannot be about something else, and then what you are doing for your research, your thesis is something else. Okay, an academic thesis, we call what you're going to write a thesis. You should have a very clear subject or field area. For instance, in ASTiF, we have we have visual arts, we have music, we have writing. So it must be clearly reflected. Even though it's mixed field, maybe you want to do film and writing, it must be clearly stated in your proposal that you are crossing fields. Understand? Then there's methodology. Methodology, you will need to read up on, you want to do it in a qualitative fashion or in a quantitative, meaning calculation using statistics packages, or if you want a mixed method, meaning a mix of both qualitative, which is normally based on interviews and library research. Then you want to mix it with calculation, which is percentages, using some statistics package like SPSS 27, and all this you must clearly state out. Basically, methodology is how you go about doing your research and coming out with your thesis. Okay, so location, of course, where you're going to do. If you are doing you're doing what field research, you need to state. Let's say you're doing it in China, whereabouts in China. You have to be so specific until the village in which you are doing the research has to be stated. The people who are your subjects of the research must be mentioned as well. Okay, and the most important part for your title is you explain each and every keyword in the title in the introduction paragraph of your proposal. Okay, this is to make it clear to everybody who reads and to yourself what you're doing, what subject you're doing on, what field you're in. Okay, and what specifically you're going to look at. This is very, very important. The second point or inside your proposal that must be is related to specific area of study and genre. Genre is like, what is it? Let's say we have drama. Okay, in drama we have a romantic genre, we have horror genre. Okay, so under film studies, for instance, the field is film. You have genre drama. Okay, the drama is different from action movie, different from cartoon, animation, and all that, right? So you have different fields. You have to narrow it down. Is it going to be a drama which is romantic or drama which is horror? Means all the films that you study, you are looking into, which is your subject of study, whether it is touching on drama which is romantic only or whatever. Okay, so you must be very specific when you explain the area of your study. The researcher needs to know exactly where and what. Okay, I have some examples here for sciences, but I'll just focus on arts. For instance, visual arts, you have animation. Okay, the genre, and drawing, painting, media. All that you have to be specific. Is it drawing? Is it some of you all have to do paints, the type of paints? Is it paints to be under a medium? A medium. So you cannot put it under drawing. Your literature review can touch on painting, the media that is used in the painting, but not everything like animation and everything, because it doesn't have any connection with what you're doing, which is paints. Understand? So basically, what you do here, when you specify your area, then you also specify your literature review. You know where to look, what books and what articles to look for. You don't simply just get a general one on painting or drawing and then you put it into your literature review. The literature review chapter has to have something to do with your area of study. Your subject of study is even more important. Okay, meaning you need to be clear about, are you going to study, for instance, the paint itself? Okay, example, the paint, or the type of things, the materials you use to make the paint. Okay, so there's a difference. You study the paint, and how the paint is used in art is different from what materials you collect in nature to make the paint. These are two different categories and two different theses. I hope I made myself clear. Okay, so when you are doing an academic research, you need to know where is your scope. So if your subject is the paint and how the paint is going to be utilized in a painting or in anything else, then your subject of study is the paint. Okay, not the materials used to make the paint. If you want to study the materials that people collect in don't know which forest and from the plants or derived from some animal, then it is on materials, okay, that will create the paint. That in itself is a thesis by itself. So please be very clear, okay? Although they are all under paint, different kind of paint, it is still considered a different subject, okay? Different subject of study. I have given examples here. For instance, if you're doing arts and you want to do British colonial news, the newspaper that have been published during the British people who ruled Malaysia. So it's so big. When the British people were here, they ruled a lot of things. They wrote a lot of things too. But you want to specify and say you only want to look at the newspaper. Which newspaper? There are so many newspapers they ran during that time, including Borneo Post last time. So which aspect? Go down some more. You make more focus. If you find one or two papers you want to look at, then you look at what aspect in the paper. Because in one paper you have many different type of news. You have what is popular, what is national, what is current. So what is it that you want to look at? Is it one column? If it's that column, then you have to specify. Okay, so basically you have to be very, very specific is the word when you describe your subject of study. Okay, so I give you a practice here. Okay, I have a thesis, title of thesis, The Impact of ESY. I made it up, a serum on the psychological responses of the orangutan to verbal instructions. Orangutan, of course, all of you know that it is a monkey, a kind of monkey that is found mostly in the tropical countries and very exclusive to Malaysia. Okay, verbal instruction is if you call the orangutan, you tell him dance, he will dance. Okay, the instructions using mouth, vocal. Okay, the psychological responses. So here, what is the subject of the study? Can anybody try? What's the subject of the study? Is it the easy serum? Or is it psychological responses, orangutan, or verbal instruction? Can someone answer? Bidwin, can you answer? Bidwin, are you here? Yeah. Can you
What's
try?
the
Is it
Yeah, I
easy
can
serum?
hear.
Mm?
Uh, I'm not really good at these terms because it's
It's
science
okay. Just try.
cluster.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the question again, Doc? Pro?
What is the impact? What's the subject? What's your subject here? In the title of thesis, can you tell the subject of study? Is it
This
easy serum? Those highlighted in yellow. Is it easy serum? Is it the psychological
uh
responses?
the
Or
subject will be PSI zero.
yes, correct. Between you are right. Okay.
Okay,
The subject of
okay.
study is easy serum. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Your scope of study will be psychological responses by easy when people administer easy serum on the orangutan. Okay. Yes. Very good. Thank you very much. What is the subject of this one? Who want to try? Title of thesis. Impact of natural colors application on sugarcane fibers for material development. What's the subject here? Any of the visual arts students who are coming in for visual arts? Natural colors application on sugarcane fibers. So which is the field? The field of study is what? Material development. Okay? Field is material development. The subject will be natural colors. Yeah? Natural colors. Okay. And specific subject is sugarcane fibers, the natural application of natural colors on the sugarcane fibers in material development. Okay? Okay, we go on to the main aim of the research. This is super important. If you don't have the main aim, you will be lost. It's like going into the jungle. You don't know where you want to go. So you turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left, and you lose a lot of time and you get lost. So the main aim of the, you must have an aim, 目标. You 一定要有目标, okay? Must be clarified early in your proposal. Okay, how? And of course, some of you will be procuring funding. I'm not very sure this one. But the main aim of the research is not the objective, yeah? A lot of you think that the main aim is the objective. But it's actually a general, very general summary of all your objectives. Okay, of all your objectives. For example, main aim of this research is to find the genome, this scientific, that is responsible for the whatever disease, okay? Phenylketonuria disease. I am not a science person, but from this I can also tell. Okay, so the main aim of this research is to protect the erosion of local culture knowledge. So basically, most of the time, your objective is actually a summary of all your objectives. Sorry, your main aim is a summary of all your objectives. Again, sorry, I have to tell you, your main aim of the research is a summary of all your objectives. If you cannot summarize your objectives into a main aim, then you actually do not have a main aim. And you don't know what the aim of the research is. All this, if you are very clear, you should have no problems writing your thesis or doing your research. Okay? So we go on to the fifth one, research problems. Okay, research problems are important to determine your research objectives. Okay, why? Basically, why you want to do the research? Is it because you want to pass this so that you can hold a master's degree or be called a doctor? That is a very bad reason. If you are doing this so that you think that you come to UMS and then you can get an easy doctorate, then you are very wrong. Okay? It's not an easy thing to do a doctorate, because when you say you are a doctorate, not us who will prosecute you. People outside there will prosecute you when they ask you questions and you don't know how to answer. You think that getting a doctorate is very easy? Trust me, it's not. Everywhere you go, people will ask you questions. And if you think that you want an easy way out, there's no easy way out to get good things, yeah? Okay, I think there's a Chinese saying there, but I don't know what it is. Okay, reasons differ widely in the science field as well as within the arts field. So if you're in the arts, I understand all of you are in the arts. Most of the time we begin the research because of the research problems. I underline this, because of the research problems. I can't do it now. Okay. Is this gone? Okay. Because of the research problems, okay? I have gone astray. I'm so sorry for this. Okay. So we have research problems. What are research problems? They are important to determine your research objectives. Remember just now we said what? Objectives. With objectives, you can summarize and get your main aim, right? Okay, but research problems are the one that determine your research objectives, which is why you want to do the research. And normally we call in qualitative research. Qualitative means the research is done either interviewing people or observation. Okay, I know a lot of you want to do the observation one because you think that because you have taught so many people in this field, helped so many people that you want to do research observation. It's not that easy, yeah. Okay, it's not that easy to just use your whatever you have observed to do a research, because whatever you observe is just a very, very small, very small group of people. Does not mean that what you have observed is reflective of everyone in the world. Okay, so when you do a research, you have to take into consideration all the other research that has been done in the same field by other people outside of Malaysia, outside of China. Okay, so what we refer to here is called a knowledge gap. Okay, a knowledge gap in the subject. Normally, a research is done because very little has been said about that subject in that field or in that area of study. We don't simply go and do a research because we think that we found another person's thesis inside the library or in your country that you have found that you can cut and paste, make it into your thesis. Don't think you can get away with it also by taking another person's one and what? Because we do check. Okay? How, for example, how to jumpstart the economy of a state that has relied heavily on tourism during this pandemic season. Okay? So you have to find a foolproof cure for all kinds of cancer. That is one also. Okay? So these kind of examples are all about knowledge gap. Because until today, for instance, there is no one answer to how can we promote tourism during the pandemic season. Okay? It's a challenge. But many people have come up with possible hypotheses and suggestions through their own research, which has been turned into a master's thesis or a PhD thesis. Similarly, for cancer, I think Australia is the only one that has come up with has claimed to come up with a cure for cancer. But we still see that there are some who go through the whole process but still die at the end. Okay, so there's no foolproof cure for cancer, so there's a big gap. This is a knowledge gap. So we fill it in with different theses, different aspects on how to cure. I believe China also has different kinds of ways to cure cancer, and all this fill in the knowledge gap. Okay, it's not a foolproof one, but it's a knowledge gap, so we fill it in. Okay, quantitative researchers. Quantitative is slightly different. Okay, slightly different. We use a lot of statistics and mathematics, and we always start with the hypothesis. For instance, there is a cure for cancer, so we choose to administer certain type of medication, and then we test. Then we ask the patients whom we tested on questions, and then we calculate. We use a statistics package to calculate, see whether the questions we ask are valid or not, see whether the experiment it tested is successful or not. Even in failure, we have to report. It is to prove the kind of relationship between different variables, different reasons. Okay, so for instance, I have here a hypothesis in the thesis entitled Impact of MCO, which is lockdown, impact of pandemic lockdown on teaching performing arts courses. The hypothesis is it possible to teach performing arts courses during MCO due to the lack of face-to-face instructions? So what I do is I come up with a questionnaire, and then I give it to all the performing arts students to answer. After that, I collect the data, I run it through a statistics package to say that it is valid, whatever questions that I ask is valid, and then I come up with the responses and the data, the findings. So it's a slightly different kind of research, but totally doable also in the arts. Okay, but there's a lot of work to it. It's not that easy, yeah? Okay, research questions. Okay, a whole lot of you think that research questions is those questions that we ask the subject. No. Research questions is actually a summary of all the questionnaire that you give to your subjects you interview, okay, either in a qualitative or quantitative. So it comes from your research problem. Okay, how do you get research questions? It comes from your research problem. Okay, research problem, for instance, example here, the COVID-19 vaccines are effective to quell the current type of SARS COVID virus, but not the several different strains that has mutated. So we are doing a qualitative, means interview with all the experts, okay, on the doctors at the front line and the researchers on the COVID-19 vaccines, for instance. So what are the questions that you want answer to? That is what research questions. You want to know what? You want to know what strains have mutated, what are there, what are the mutations like, how can we stop them? These are the general research questions, okay, from which we will create more. For instance, what strains have been mutated from SARS? So you have to ask number one question, maybe 4 questions from each of these research questions to get answers from your subjects, because research questions are going to guide the kind of questionnaire that you will ask your subjects. They are guides. They are not the real research questions. I underline again, research questions are the guide to your questionnaire, what you want to find out. Okay, normally research questions, if you have 4 to 5, is a lot already for a PhD study. If research for masters, 2 to 3 already a lot. Understand? Because of the length of time. Sometimes one question, you can come up with 10 other questionnaire inside the questionnaire you're going to circulate to the people you're going to interview. So research questions are general guides to your questionnaire, remember. For quantitative study, all your research questions have to be validated. Okay, meaning the research questions that generate the questionnaire, you have to find the Cronbach alpha. Okay, you don't know what that is maybe, but if you're doing SPSS, you will know. Or the R-stats. There are many different statistics packages. Okay, you have to test for Pearson's correlation also to see whether your questionnaire or measure what you want. Okay, in quantitative studies, okay, they are normally conducted in science researchers. Science researchers, all quanti, either quantitative with mixed with quali, but never without quanti. Only the arts people do quali only. Yeah. Okay, research objectives. Research objectives are the targets that the research aims to achieve. Remember, I told you what the objectives are. Okay. So they are the target. Most research objectives are derived from research questions. So when you have the 4, 5, 3 or 3, 4, 5 research questions, not only you have questionnaire to circulate to your subjects, you also have the objectives. Okay, the objectives. So research objectives have to use a verb. A verb is an action word. Okay, for instance, to analyze, to reveal something, 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 to uncover something, 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 okay? To investigate, to combine, or whatever, okay? For postgraduate level, you have to follow Bloom's taxonomy, which is an education, benchmark, okay? And it will be shown next slide, where all your research objectives must reach the top 3 levels, which is to create, evaluate, and analyze. That means your questionnaire cannot fall below this. These are for undergraduate. During your degree time, then you will use this kind of findings and data, how to try to show us that you can remember, that you understand, that you can apply. But when you reach masters and PhD, you need to show that you can analyze. What is analyze? You can differentiate, you can organize, you can compare, you can contrast. Okay, so if you reach this part, you can have your masters already. Okay, if you can evaluate also the next these two, you can reach your masters. But in a PhD, you need to include this: create. You need to produce new or original design, construction, model, conjecture, develop or formulate something new. That is a PhD, so that you can be known as a doctor in this, who created that. Understand? If you are a master student, you can show that you can analyze. Then after that, you can appraise, meaning you can make decisions based on your analysis. Justify why you do this, why you do that. Okay? With logical conclusion and academically supported views. Okay? So you can critique. Remember, I repeat myself, when you do a master's thesis and a PhD thesis, it's not enough to collect stuff. You can collect all you want, but if you don't know how to analyze and evaluate what you collect, then you have failed your master's thesis. Because your research question was not analytical enough, and your objectives also. You just want to show people what is there. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do that. When I say Tom, Dick, and Harry, means anybody outside, I pay them money. Can you collect this? Then after that, put it down in your book. Enough. I also can do that. My daughter, who is 14 years old, also can do that. But to analyze and evaluate, you must have read up a lot. You must be able to differentiate. Oh, this one different from that. And you have to write it down in your thesis. What is the difference? You must be able to compare and contrast. And then evaluate. Say which one is better. Which A or B better? Why is it better or clearer or more meaningful or whatever? Or find that, oh, actually after your comparison, you can show that they actually the this and that actually come from that. There's a hint that it's because of that, the cultural significance. So that's evaluation. So if you haven't come to that state, then basically you haven't reached the objective of your masters. For PhD, it's slightly different. You not only have to tell this and this and this and that, okay, that this one comes from this. You have to prove. You have to say that my way, maybe you create a design. If you follow my way, you will get this. If you follow that way, you cannot get that. So you are doctorate and expert. And you come up, some of them, they will come up with a whole design, a whole model. Okay, a model on how to do animation for whatever type of stream of things, for instance, or how to teach students how to draw. You create a whole new model on how to teach. You say it's very successful, especially with students with autism or something like that. So that is creating a new thing. Then you can become if you've managed to create this and you convince all your assessors on it, then you have gotten yourself a PhD. Okay, literature review, which is actually reading. You have to read a lot, not things that are in your country only. You have to read everything that's outside. Okay, those of you who are in a country which doesn't have Google or doesn't have Yahoo or whatever, you have to fly out to do that. Okay, you don't want people to say that your research is only based on what is inside your country that is allowed to you. You have to get academic references that have been written by people all over the world. so that at the end, when you get your degree, nobody can vilify and say that, alamak, why you only do something that only your people know how to read and find useful. Okay? A literature review should be written as a compilation of references, divided into references for subject, objectives, theory, and method. I hope someone is covering for literature review. I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen your schedule. I won't go into detail, okay? But every literature review must be written to justify your research, to differentiate your research from other people that have done it. Why is your research so special? Not to follow somebody else's research. Differentiate your research from theirs. Why you need to do your research, you have to justify why. Not because my friend do it, I follow because I want a master's degree or PhD. Understand? Okay, methodology. Research methodology is the backbone. Backbone, you know, without your backbone, you cannot stand, right? In your body, it's the same for research. Understand? Okay, so research methodology refers to how a research is conducted to achieve the objectives of the research. The methods used differ between qualitative and quantitative research. This part is best illustrated using charts. Okay, so I always encourage my students to come up with flow charts. Yeah, boxes with arrows going down to show the process. The process of doing your research begins with reading. You have to show and tell us where you read, what you do, and then what type of theory you apply or model you apply. And then from data collection, you go to analytical analysis. How you analyze, which is the second flowchart, analysis. Okay, and then you go into a more specific, maybe a conceptual framework or something like that for each item, depending on your research. Okay, but the main chart that you must have in methodology is, of course, the research design. The whole general research design that includes a little bit of your analysis of the data and everything. But after you have your research design, which shows from the beginning of data collection to the findings, you have to take out the parts on analysis and have your second flow chart that shows when you get the piece, your subject, how you analyze the subject using a theory, a model, or whatever questionnaire application, okay, to find the findings. If it's a theory you use, you need to come up with a conceptual framework and show us where the theory is applied and how you analyze it using the theory. Which aspect of the theory you use, okay? So in qualitative research, there's always three main charts. Research framework or research design is the same. And then you have the second chart, which is the conceptual or theoretical framework, depending on whether you're using the concept, which has theories in it, or a philosophy, or you're using theory alone, one aspect of the theory. And the last one is how you analyze using this theory, okay, to come out with your findings. Next, after methodology, you have you have the quanti one. Those doing quantitative studies, you have the record. You have a statistics package. You have to tell us where you what questionnaire you use. You sometimes can adopt or adapt from somebody who has already got a set of questionnaire and has done something like yours, but not exactly like your research. You have to change it according to the culture, background, sometimes the situation you are in, okay? So you are allowed to adopt a certain a questionnaire. And of course, you use statistics packages that are available. It's up to you, but you have to justify what kind of test from the statistics package you use to validate, it means prove that it's right, okay? Whatever it is, okay, we go on to the next, which is the scope, which is the final one, okay, final. final part of this proposal defense. The scope of a research refers to the extent which the research covers in regards to the subject or variables. Okay, what's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? Okay, the scope of a research refers to covers in regards. It has to cover which part. For instance, when we do COVID-19 studies, we don't do every part. You have to say, I'm only focusing on the impact, emotional impact. I'm not going to focus on how we overcome COVID-19, how vaccines were dispersed. We are not going to look at that. So in your scope part, you say, I only focus on this. This is to protect you so that during your viva voce, your examination for your thesis, people are going to ask you, why you never look at this? So you go back to your scope and say, because the scope of my research is this. It doesn't cover that part. So in that way, you have protected yourself. Also, the scope must indicate depth and breadth. How much of it you're going into. For instance, COVID-19, you're looking at the emotional impact. Emotional impact as in what? The impact towards learning only. So you say only for learning, but learning in what depth? How they go into class, any problems there, how they learning achievement after the learning, can they do their exams, assessment. So it's learning and assessment. So that is the depth. The breadth of the research will be, do you include only one institution, or is it you going to include another university students, other university students, or the whole of China, or the whole of Malaysia, or only in Sabah, UITM or UMS? That's breadth. That is how far you go in. Okay, you're only going as far as learning and assessment. You are not touching teaching. You're not going to do the teaching. Okay, so the depth and breadth will indicate the impact of your finding. Impact is, so you have done your research. Now, what you have found, is it valuable to the people around you? Is it useful? If you find that it's not useful, abandon. Don't do the research because it's no impact. If you think it has impact, it means that it will help the people. It will help people to understand how to teach. For instance, if you do on impact COVID, how to teach under stress. Okay, if the person or how to improve on online teaching. These are all impact on the people, and it will bring good things. You must focus on the positive impact. Okay, that's in many cases a clear scope will help you defend your findings during your viva voce. Okay, that is all for this part of the this part of my session. I think it's 10:19. I do have 45 minutes left. I will give you 5 minutes break before I come back with the next round. Is that okay? Can I have a yeah and nay? Someone can respond. Yes. Yes. Is it okay if if I stop for 5 minutes? Dr. Junior can?
Okay, doctor.
Oh, okay. Yes. The rest of you, are you here? Lin Chen, are you here? Lin Chen, on your mic. Yes, you are. Good. I stop for 5 minutes. Okay. The rest of you? Okay, take a rest first. 5 minutes. I have to put on the next one. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. much time. Whatever it is, I just want to speak to everybody here. I notice I have a new person here, Jai Hao Yan. Jai, is it? Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from?
Oh, I'm from China,
Which part of China?
Inner Mongolia.
Inner Mongolia. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Is it very cold now? I don't think so. Is it autumn?
yeah, it's so cold.
Really? What is the temperature like?
Now,
Yes.
20.
Oh dear. Oh, that's quite nice. 20 is quite nice.
Now it's so cool. But next
Cool.
month maybe it's too cold. Maybe.
I'm so glad you are here, Jai. Because I can hear from the way you speak, you have no problems with presenting because you can speak English. That's
Yeah.
great.
Thank you so much.
Yes. You probably be able to present very soon. How about Su? Su Xiaoqian, can you tell us something about where you come from? Su, where are you? Su Xiaoqian, 你从哪里来的？苏小钱没有在，这是林可钱，是我的。Hello，Yeah，我想叫Where are you，苏小钱？Where are you？How about Rehana，Where are you from？Rehana，Where are you from？ Rehana，Hello。
Hello, doctor. Sorry, I'm from
Hi. Where are you from?
Sarawak.
Sarawak.
Yes,
Yes, and you are here to do a PhD or master's?
PhD.
Oh, that's great. Under Dr. Junior?
Under Doctor Fuad.
What? Okay, welcome to UMS. That's good.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
doctor.
How Yanan, where are you? How Yanan? How are you here?
Good morning, Professor.
Yes. Hi, how? I'm glad I can hear a girl also besides Linka Chen. Where are you from, How?
I'm from China, Liaoning Province, Xi'an City.
Oh, Xi'an. Okay, Liaoning Province. So what is so beautiful about the Shanxi province?
I think Liaoning Province is the same beautiful to the Shanxi Province.
Oh, to the Shanxi province.
Liaoning Province is the northeast in China.
Oh, it's north of it. Liaoning is north, which is very cold. Maybe colder than Shaoyuan.
Yes.
What is the temperature like now in Liaoning?
In winter, my city the temperature about 28.
Below 28?
28 under 0.
Oh, wow, minus 28. That's
Yeah.
very dangerous.
Yes, very
When
cold.
we go out, we can turn into ice. Okay, thank you very much, How? I think you can.
Thank you.
You can
Thank you,
also speak English, so have no fear about presenting. You just need to practice with your supervisor. How about Jing? Jing Ruo Yuan.
Yes, doctor.
Where are you from, Jing?
I'm from China.
Which part
Henan.
of China?
Zhengzhou City.
Zhengdu, is it, or Zhengzhou?
Yeah, Zhengzhou City.
Zhengzhou.
And our city.
Which part of Zhengzhou is that? North, south, east, or west of Beijing or Shanghai?
mm,
Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's okay. We can go on from there. Yeah. Don't feel stressed about it. We were just trying to pass the 5 minutes also. How about Dong Yanlai? Where are you?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, doctor.
Hi, Dong. Another girl. Yes. Are you doing a PhD or master's?
A PhD.
Doing a PhD. Where are you from?
I come from Wuhan City, Hubei province.
Oh, Wuhan City, you have been badly battered by the COVID-19 for the last 3 years. Are you all better now?
Yes, I'm okay.
Oh, that's great. During the pandemic, where did you go? Did you leave Wuhan?
No, I didn't. I didn't leave. I still in
Oh,
Wuhan now.
oh, you're still in Wuhan now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Are you on lockdown?
I'm in the. I'm in the Jianghan zone of the Wuhan.
Oh, okay. You're the ground zero? No.
No,
You are in Wuhan and there is no lockdown, no pandemic lockdown, no? Yes.
There's an maybe we must to protect ourselves more carefully.
So you're wearing mask still, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, it's good. Okay, I'm glad to hear from all of you who can speak English, and I and Dr. Junior, I speak for him too. We are more encouraged and confident that all of you can go and speak to your supervisor and also discuss and do your final proposal. So now, thank you so much for telling us a bit about your country and saying hello, to everybody. I don't have much time between. I'm so sorry. I have to go on to the next session before I run out of time. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can y'all see? Is that
Yeah, yes, we can see.
okay? That's very good. Is that you, Jing? Yeah. That's good. Okay. The next session we are going to cover what is progress reports, research progress reports, and what is a viva voce. Just now I covered proposal. What is a proposal, and what do you do before the proposal, as well as what you should have in the proposal, what you're supposed to do. Yeah. You need to bring all this to your supervisor and discuss. Okay, so you will get, as I said, as before, you will get these slides from Dr. Junior when I finish. So no need to take notes or ask me to slow down. You just listen, and if you have a question, you can ask me at the end. Yeah? Okay, what is a research progress report? Every one of you, I must stress here, okay, you have to fill in your progress in your research and thesis writing online in your own portal, in the UMS postgraduate portal. I underline again. Okay, you have to put it in, especially before a new semester starts. Before you pay for your next semester, you have to write there what you have done in your research and thesis writing in your portal. Okay, you will be given a student's SMP portal for yourself online. You submit your progress report before the end of a semester. Okay, your postgraduate supervisor will send you a reminder, or postgraduate itself will send you a reminder at nearing the end of a semester, and you are supposed to fill in. What do you fill in? Okay, why you need to? Because the research progress report will come to us. let's say I am your supervisor. You have done all this with me, you discussed with me already, and then you did it, you sent to me already your proposal and everything, and you did the corrections as I asked you to do. Then we will write on our part. In the progress report, there's two parts. One part you fill in, one part the supervisor will fill in as an assessment of the candidate's own management of his research. So we will see something called milestone. Milestone is, in Chinese, I don't know what it is, okay? I can't get the translation now. Milestone is like which level you have achieved to this date, okay? And are you focused or not on your research, or did you just sign up and then run away, go and do work here, do work there, and then go and have fun, and then just nearing end of semester, you come back and write down the whole list of what you have done, but actually you didn't do it. Okay, what will happen if you do that? You sign up, you run away, you do your work, you think that you can get it at the end, you won't get it. Because people like us, the supervisor, we don't see you giving us work, okay? Everything that you do, you have to send to us, we mark, and we give it back to you and tell you what to make changes. If you didn't do that, we will write in our part saying whatever you said there, you did, we didn't see you, we haven't seen any of your work, you didn't bother to contact us, and we don't even know what you do. And then we will give you a grade that is close to failure. Fail, huh? We will fail you in your progress report. And in order to go on to the next level, your supervisor will see whether you can or not. So if you didn't come to see me, if I am your supervisor okay, if I'm your supervisor, you didn't come see me, I will put cannot go to the next level. Okay, until you complete the first level. So if this semester you didn't do any, you didn't go and see, second semester you didn't see me, third semester also you didn't, you will still be unable to go on to the next level. And you will just keep paying and paying and paying, and you make us richer and richer and richer, and you poorer and poorer, and you didn't complete your research. So make sure that you see your supervisor, you do the corrections and send the draft email. You must have evidence that you have done your part. I hope this is very clear. The progress report is very important. Okay. So this is the flow chart. Okay. This is the flow chart. What happens in semester 2? This should be, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, it should be SEM 2023, but I'm using an old one to show you. You have to fill in the objectives for your semester after discussion with your supervisor. Then 1 month before the registration, 1 month before new semester, you have to submit the report on what you have done, discuss with your supervisor for the last 3 weeks. And then the supervisor will receive the report. Once you submit in the SMEP portal, it will come to us. And then we will confirm whether you have done all the things you list out, or we will reject and say that you didn't do it. And we will give you a failure. Okay? So what to report? Okay, what to report? You report on what is required. Okay, for instance, your research schedule. Okay, you have already discussed with your supervisor what you need to do this semester, what kind of objective, what you need to write, what you need to hand in. You agree upon it. And then, of course, before that, what's the title, what's the discipline, what's the field. You do the theoretical framework of the research. And then you also write about whether you have a grant. Most people have a research grant, meaning a government body or some kind of body give you money to do research. This is what it means by funded by a specific grant. Research grant. And then the supervisor's instruction for you to do. maybe we ask you, can you rewrite the introduction section of your proposal for the first semester? Can you put in more literature review in your second section, literature review? Can you read up on your methodology? These are normally what we tell you when we meet you. Okay. One tip for all of you, please listen up. I clap so that you listen. Okay. You need to arrange with your supervisor a time to meet up online. Okay? You need to create either Zoom, WebEx, or using an online platform in which you record, okay, or the supervisor record a meeting with you, discussion for at least an hour or two. Okay, if you have two supervisors, please contact both of them. Okay, like Linka Chen, I am her supervisor, and Dr. Shah. So she arranges for a Zoom meeting for all of us to come together and look at her proposal, and we will tell her what to change, what to put in. After that, she comes back with a draft, another draft too. Draft means it's not the full one yet. You have to work on a proposal, meaning don't expect first time you give your proposal, everything will be correct. That is not how it's done. You hand in a draft and then you talk to us. We tell you what needs to be done. You do whatever that needs to be changed and add in whatever information you need. Then you come back to us and we still help you. This is how we learn. This is how the thesis writing is going to be conducted. You are hardworking. We are hardworking. You don't give us anything. We also don't ask you to do anything. Because you are not a young student. You are a master's and a PhD student. You have to be responsible for your thesis because you become the master. You take the degree and say you are the master. We don't give you anything. We just help you find, help you, guide you. We are guides as your supervisor. Okay? We don't give you what to write inside. You have to come out to write it. Do you understand? Okay? Don't expect us to look for your books, look for you articles, because we are not the PhD holder. If you want to do that, then I will take your PhD. I will take your master's. Because I am the one who gave you all the information inside there to write. I also don't write for you. We just tell you what you need inside. We read what you write and say you need to do this, you need to do that. One of the most important thing I need to stress here is you need to follow your supervisor's instruction. If you choose to go against your supervisor's instruction, you might not pass. Do I make myself clear? Please put up your hands. Please put up your hands, like show a hand signal in your WebEx that you have understood. Yeah? Yes. Okay. Only one or two of you. What happened to the rest? Yes. Okay. That's good. Okay, next. In stages 1, each semester you have to report, as I said, you have to report the entire research, and stage 2 also. Stage 2 is normally literature review. Stage 3 will be your methodology and your findings already. But you can read. If you are master's degree, you have 4 to 6 semesters. Okay, 6 is the most. After 6 semesters, you automatically fail. Unless you request, there's a good reason for going on through. 6 to 8 semesters is for PhD, full-time. These are all full-time. The rest of the information you can find on your website, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. a schedule. You should come up with a schedule and all that. Okay, in semester 1, stage 1, normally what do? You discuss about the research proposal that I talked to you about. And then you have to complete the presentation. Remember I said after this RMC, you discuss with your supervisor your proposal, you give your supervisor drafts of it, they will ask you to correct it, and then there will be a postgraduate colloquium where you have to present your research proposal online if possible. And then you must make sure your literature review has been done and preliminary studies or quantitative studies. If you fail to achieve any of this, okay, the student have to revise, have to repeat this RMC. Repeat, come and attend again, and then do again all over again. You have to revise the original research schedule, revise the research proposal, and you will be delayed. You cannot complete on time. People complete PhD in 3 years. You will be delayed 3.5, 4, 5, or 6. Master student too. The more you don't follow, the more you don't do and do your corrections, the later you graduate. Some people graduate eight years. I also don't know how. I don't think it's possible now because they have a limit. Okay? Anyways, try to finish by doing what you're supposed to do. Do not give up. Okay? Giving up is failure in itself. Every time when you do a postgraduate degree, it's about determination and discipline. Okay? Determination and discipline to go. If the supervisor asks you to change, you change accordingly. You don't understand what to change into, you ask. Ask until you understand. Show that you don't understand. Don't be afraid to say you don't understand. Okay? Final stage. Okay, final stage. Once you reach the final stage of your research, your final semester, okay, then you have to present in a pre-viva. Before the real test, you have a pre-test in front of your supervisor and 2 colleagues who are experts in your field. You have to present like you present in your proposal, but this time your whole thesis is complete. Your whole research, you have to present it, including the findings that is missing in proposal. In proposal, you have everything until scope. But in Viva, pre-Viva, you must have your findings inside. What you found in your research. It has to be presented at a faculty, meaning at the ASTiF level or at your institute level. Okay? And then after that only your supervisor can request from postgraduate to nominate external assessors. Your external assessors can come from the US, can come from UK, can come from Taiwan, can come from West and East Malaysia, and internal assessors are normally the lecturers that are inside the same faculty or academy. Okay? So you must remember what you write will be assessed by external. So for PhD, you have, is it one external, is it? One external assessor and 2 internal assessors. Okay? One external means somebody outside from Universiti Malaysia Sabah, and 2 from inside Universiti Malaysia Sabah. Understand? Okay, ensure all postgraduate publication and conference presentation requirements have been fulfilled. If I'm not mistaken, you have to publish in peer-reviewed journals or high-index journals for PhD. High index will be those that have impact factors, okay, as well as Scopus or WOS, Web of Science Index, okay, those journals, those are probably for those who are doing a PhD. For those master's degree, if I'm not wrong, maybe Dr. Junior has a clearer picture, but I will give you an example. You have to publish in a peer-reviewed journal. Send the thesis for style guide check at UMS. That means after you have done your whole thesis, will have a few hundred pages. You have to set it properly, and then you send it to the postgraduate center for checking for style. You make 3 copies for submission and assessment by the external examiner, and 2 internal for PhD, 1 external, 1 internal for master's degree. And then you will wait for your viva voce. Normally it takes 3 months to get back to you or more, depending on how long the external and internal examiners will take to mark your thesis. And then we will call for the PASCHA postgraduate center will call for a viva voce. All of us will be invited either online or face to face, and you have to present your thesis. That is the real viva voce, which I'm going to talk about now. Okay, what is a viva voce? It is an examination conducted by word of mouth. Okay, by word of mouth. Actually, viva voce means by word of mouth, expressed or conducted, but in its own self, it is what it's called. But in this case, it is by word of mouth and examination. Okay, so we go on to function. What does a viva voce do? Do you all know that you actually pass or fail your master's and your PhD based on this viva voce? It's not what you have written and the progress reports. You can fail because you cannot present your viva voce. It is during this viva voce, okay, you are given 20 to 30 minutes for master's degree and 25 to 45 minutes for PhD to tell people what you have done for your research and what you have found. You have to persuade them to see that you have found this and the impact of your research is great and is positive. Then only you can pass the viva voce. During the viva voce, people can fail you because they say, you can't even express yourself. You cannot express what you have done. So you fail. So people have failed their PhD, people have failed their masters or resit, meaning you have been given 1 year to redo or fail it and redo, or I think most of the time they redo the whole thesis. They give you more than 1 year also got to redo it and then come for viva voce again. Understand this very well. We are not kidding you. It's not easy. Within that few minutes, you have to tell people and show people that you deserve to be called a doctorate in your field. If you cannot express what you have done, it's useless to give you a doctorate. It will only look bad on UMS. We give you a doctorate, but you cannot say anything about what you have found. Okay? Okay, checklist for a successful viva. You want to do well in your viva voce after you have finished writing your thesis. This is a list you can use to check. Yeah? Okay. You make sure that you are prepared. Okay. And then you have your slides in order. Well prepared. Please make sure you don't cut and paste words into your slides, and you have practice in front of your supervisor. Prepare simple, clear, not crowded slides so that when we read, we won't feel our eyes are painful, okay, as external, and we understand what the point you want to get across. This is very important because some of you don't have very good English. If your points are well prepared and your English is not very good, when you explain, we don't want to listen, we can still see what you are trying to say. Understand? So your slides are very important. You prepare answers to certain questions which you think you can talk to your supervisor and see what kind of questions they will ask. Dress formally, appear groomed. Don't wear slippers or shorts or a lousy unironed shirt. Okay? Come early and be prepared. If you dress badly, people don't have good impression of you. I think they don't want to pass you. I hope you all understand this. Okay? Please practice. Don't think you can get away from practicing. Those who never practice with the supervisor always end up with problems during Viva Voce. Don't present exceeding the time. We give you 45 minutes maximum for PhD. If you exceed the time, some of us, number one, will fall asleep, don't want to listen. Number two, we have reason to discount. We don't want to know what you're trying to say. We don't want to take into consideration for your assessment. So please make sure you have a presentation. 45 minutes means 45 minutes. Okay? If it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you can exceed. 45 minutes, you can exceed 1 hour. You can have to 1 hour. After the 1 hour time, nobody wants to take into account what you say. Please be well-mannered and polite. Meaning, okay, if in your country, you can say something back to the to the panel of assessors. Here, we won't tolerate it. Okay? If you say bad words to people who comment about your thesis, definitely you will fail. Bad words. Okay, we have encountered students who do that. They say bad words thinking that we don't understand Chinese. Well, we do. Okay? We do. And if you are not well-mannered and polite, some of us can stand up and walk out of your Viva Voce. And because of that, you will fail. Understand? You are in the hands of the panel of assessors there. You have to behave well. Okay. What are the events inside the Viva Voce? What happens? There's a welcome introduction by the chairperson. You have a chairperson there. You have your external examiner from another university. You have two. If you have a PhD, then you have two internal assessors. If it's a master's, you have an internal assessors. And some of them are professors, associate professors, and doctorates. All experts in your field. Okay? So the student will be invited into the Viva Voce room, either online or physically. Okay? You will have to greet each and every one of them. And then we will the chairperson will tell you to begin your presentation, where you prepare your slides and you begin explaining each of your slides, what is inside there, and the items that I have told you about in the first link, in the first webinar I gave just now on proposal. Okay, you must have at least 10 slides there, right? The 10 items you must have. And an extra 2 more for your findings, or 3 or 4. So then after that, there will be a question and answer session. After you finish, all the experts will be asking you questions regarding your research. After that, after the session, the examiners feel that they have no more questions for you, then they ask you to go out first. Either physically go out of the room, or organizer will let you out and out of the platform first, the online platform. We will decide amongst us whether we want to pass you, give you your master's, or give you your doctorate, and then you will be invited back, and we will tell you what level you have. The assessment that you will be given, you either pass without any corrections, pass with 3 months corrections, pass with 6 months correction, or pass with partial failure, 1 year. 1 year correction, or you fail. So there are a few levels. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. There's a change there. There could be a change. And you are to collect back all the, we have a report by the each of the examiners. They will write down what is wrong with your thesis from chapter 1 to chapter 7 or more. And you are to do the corrections and hand it back on the time that you've been given, either 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year before you are given the letter that says that you have passed. Okay? Okay. We go on to the next one. slide preparations, make sure that you have 6 by 6 words in line, not more. Try not to cram. Avoid bright color backdrop or your picture or heavily pattern, or you think animation with the flash ting 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 the make people happier. No. We are not happier to see a pattern background or wait for your animation with the bird to fly across. We want to see just what you find. Select a plain blue that is not painful for our eyes. You must pity the examiner. Examiner have to look at your slide for 45 to an hour. If you put red color behind, cannot see the words, or our eyes will be painful. Then we don't want to see already. So please avoid bright color backdrop. Don't put your picture or heavily patterned backdrops. If you have done a kind of video that helps in your research, please bring along, test it first with the postgraduate people, see whether can show or not. Don't last minute during Viva will say, I got video, and then cannot see we all. Okay? Arrive earlier than your schedule, run the test with your slides and your video, whatever. Ensure your font type is Tahoma. Okay, size 32 at least for title, and 24 and above. Because sometimes you put so small we cannot read. Notice your lecturers all wear glasses because all of you are not kind to us. You put very small font. Yeah? Okay. Oh, we go on to the next one, which I can't seem to see. Okay. Visuals, maps, pictures. Save it in your laptop first. Don't go and save it into the share unit, the share wherever you're online. After no internet, cannot. Okay, cannot put up. So upload it to your PowerPoint presentation. Try until you learn it. Bring your own copy of the thesis so that when the examiner say in page 149, can you explain? And you didn't bring your thesis, hard copy, or you say, wait lah, and then you have to disturb your presentation. So bring a hard copy. Okay, speak clearly, confidently and concisely without false accent. Okay, don't try to speak like an American or an Indian. Okay, speak in a moderate tone of voice with proper grammar. You don't have to speak like an American to speak English. Okay, don't mumble or read from the slides. Most of you want to read. Don't try to read. Okay, the slides are to guide you to remember what to say. So practice is what you need. You don't need to memorize, you need to practice. Okay? Yeah, remember, don't suddenly, we don't understand you. Many times I have come across some students who suddenly speak clearly, confidently. I don't know what is it that they're saying. Okay? Because they try to speak with an accent that is not there. And then it's very difficult. Okay. What should be in your slides? I already mentioned it in the proposal, so I won't repeat myself. But this, I will draw attention. In a Viva Voce, it's different from what you saw in your proposal. This is only 50% of the slides in your Viva Voce. This one is for proposal defense. Viva Voce has 50% more, okay? Because you will be having findings. Now, findings and results. This part is the most important. We want to see what you find. You do research for 3 years, 2 years, 2 or 3 years. What is it that you find? Don't tell me 2, 3 years you still have until scope. Then you haven't achieved anything. Okay? All the best in your pursuit for your postgraduate degree. That's all I can say. Okay, I will finish here. I will stop sharing and I will go for a session of Q&A. Do I have time? Do I have time, Dr. Junior?
Yes, yes.
Oh, we do, huh? Thank you. Any questions? Anybody can voice out now? Yeah. Between Molundim, may I ask what are you doing now? Master, you are pursuing masters or PhD?
Hi, Prof. I'm pursuing master's degree. Master's
Oh, in
in
what
visual
again?
arts.
Oh, visual arts. That's great. Between. So who
Okay,
is your
thank you.
supervisor?
Dr. Muhammad Fuad bin Bebit, my
Oh, also
supervisor.
what? So you're doing drawing?
Uh, I research in textile design.
Textile design. I see. I see. Oh, okay. That's very interesting. I love it. But I am not in visual arts, yeah? Any questions from you, Bedouin? Where are you from?
I'm local student. I'm originated from Beluran district, but currently residing in Kota Kinabalu.
That's good. Hi, Bedouin. We are residing in the same place. For everybody's invitation, information. We are from Kota Kinabalu, yeah? We are all here, including Bedouin as well. Who did I miss out just now? Did I ask Jingwu, did I ask you where you're from? Jingwu, 你从哪里来的？Jingwu, 你现在在哪里？ Jingwu, are you here, Jingwu? Yes.
Hello, teacher. I'm from Guangxi.
光喜是在哪里
Yeah.
Where is it from? Whereabouts in China?
China.
Yeah, it's in China. Guangxi, which part? Is it north, south, or 东北西？哪一个？
南方。
You are south? 南方 is it? I'm not sure.
North.
North, yes. Lin
North
Keqian,
of
thank
the
you.
China. The same place I Guangxi, Nanning City.
Oh, you're from Guangxi too. Jingwu as well?
Yes.
Jingwu as well?
Yes.
Oh, both of you are from Guangxi. Welcome to Malaysia via the website. So, Jingwu, you are doing visual arts? Junior, they are not in the system, is it? Yeah. It's okay. Okay, anybody have any questions regarding proposal preparation, the Viva Voce, the what is involved in Viva Voce and progress reports? You can actually email to me or to Dr. Junior. Okay? So if you all have no more questions, I will say 再见。谢谢你们。Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sim.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Junior, is it okay if I leave now?
Thank you,
Sim. Thank you so much.
Thank you to everybody, yeah?
Yes.
Boleh kan?
Thank you
Dr.
so
Junior?
much.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. See you.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Yes, all the best for your
See you.
postgraduate. Be good, yeah?
Bye.
Everybody, yes. Go see your supervisor.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Junior. Thank you so much. Thank you, help.
Yes, thank you. I try my best to put all your name in the system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Junior.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Junior. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you, Dr. Junior.
Thank you.